Hey guys, and welcome to today's podcast on Music Babble. Today I'm going to talk about this article about the band Rings of Saturn. So apparently, Nuclear Blast, the record label, dropped Rings of Saturn, citing that they do not tolerate threats. I'm going to read this to you. This is the article. It says Nuclear Blast Records has dropped technical deathcore band Rings of Saturn. In a statement, the label claims that the guitarist Lucas Mann had threatened to issue public statements condemning Nuclear Blast in the strongest terms possible. Now, that doesn't sound like a threat to me. I mean, I don't know. They're condemning it. I don't know if that's threatening itself, but just saying that they don't like it or condemning it may not necessarily be a threat, but they might be spilling some beans on some behind the scenes thing with Nuclear Blast Records. Now, I've never worked with Nuclear Blast Records, so I don't really know too much about the insides of the organization, how the execs work and other people there, operate. But I've never heard anyone say anything really bad about Nuclear Blast before. This would be a first. Now, I know that the guitarist Lucas Mann has had issues with other people before in the past, and he's made statements about it. And this here, they don't seem to have a. They don't seem to have a any kind of comment about why, right? So Rings of Saturn, the band, or Lucas Mann, neither have commented on the situation. So Nuclear Blast has not specified why Mann allegedly threatened to condemn the label. So it's kind of a mystery at the moment. But I find this kind of interesting because, one, you have if you guys have not heard this band, they're technical deathcore metal, right? So they're heavy, they're really technical, they're very fast. And there's been a bit of conspiracy behind this band, which I think has been thoroughly debunked by Lucas Mann, the guitarist from the band. I feel he debunked their conspiracies, the conspiracy theories of this band multiple times, but people just don't want to. They want to keep being right about it. So the theory is this. This is what the conspiracy is. The conspiracy is that they speed up all their songs on the records, and they can't actually play that fast. That's a weird thing to say about a band that performs live, right? So they actually play their songs live. They play shows, and they complain. People say that, oh, well, they're actually just speeding it up for the record. They're playing it much slower. And then Lucas Mann himself will make videos of him playing those same things on guitar with an analog clock to show you real time as it's moving while he's playing like these crazy things. And also there's other videos where like him and like someone else are playing together, and you can hear like it's like in a room. It's not really set up for like audio recording, so you can hear like the electric guitar off the guitar itself, the acoustic electric guitar sound, as well as the amp guitar, the amp part of the sound coming out, right? So something like that's kind of hard to fake without making it sound weird. So it sounds pretty authentic. And then, of course, they play live shows. So on that note, it's like, well, how are you saying that? How are they speeding it up when they're playing live? And then the reasoning behind that is that all the music is pre-recorded and they're just kind of lip syncing over it, right? Or they're just kind of miming the music while the recording is playing it. And now here's the thing. They did admit to the fact that they use pre-recorded tracks when they play live, but it's only for certain parts. When they're doing like, there's harmonies that they want to fill in and then keep the sound, full. If you have two guitar players in your band, they play a harmony, well, any kind of other rhythm guitar that might be playing is going to go away, because you only have two guitars and you want them to do a harmony part. So what you might want to do is add another rhythm guitar, right? Or if you want to add a third harmony, you have that third harmony, right? Or even a fourth harmony, you can do that. And sometimes bands will do that. So it's not uncommon for bands to do such a thing. The drummer is playing to a click track, right? And that click track is connected to that recording of those other parts that are going to play through the in the show. So it's not unusual for that to be done, but it's also doesn't prove that they're speeding up their songs to make it look like they're more technical than they are, right? I don't think most people don't really care anyway, right? That's just like one of those weird things where you get like a couple people who like playing music. They can play guitar, bass, maybe drums, and they're a little bit on the jealous side because they can't do that. So they, instead of looking at their own inability to play something or the fact that they're not pushing themselves hard enough to get up to that level, they instead turn it around on the person saying, oh, man, you're just not, you're just cheating. You're not really playing like that because no one can. That's not true, right? I mean, I've seen, like, if you watch videos of like the guitar players from Cannibal Corpse playing, I mean, sometimes some of their riffs are really fast and it just looks like something's wrong with the video. Right? Like, you're like, whoa, he can't be playing that fast. But you see the guy as he's playing, you can see his hair whipping around. You go, oh, well, that's real time. Because his hair's kind of moving around like that. It's not, and nothing's being cut. And then when you sit down and try to learn how to play those riffs, and after a while you get the hang of them, and you start playing them, and you look, whoa, I look like that now. So it's a matter of, ambition to get up to that kind of skill level. And a lot of these guys who make these kinds of claims like, oh, they're speeding up, they're speeding up the recordings, it's not real. Those people are just people who don't have enough drive to find themselves getting up to that level of skill. That's really what it is. And they just need a little bit of extra push. And they're pushing the wrong way. So they're pushing, like trying to push other people down. They should be taking that energy and using it to excel themselves. So they're just going about it the wrong way, right? They have to think of it in more positive, like a more positive way, where it's like, how do I get to that? I got to get there. I got to get to that level. And instead they're like, he's faking it. It's not real. So I know that this guy, Lucas Mann, has had issues with people in the past about that. He's made public statements about it. This, I'm not really sure what's happening here because Nuclear Blast is saying, they said that they've had a long-standing history of supporting its artists, treating them with the utmost respect and integrity. This included Lucas Mann and Rings of Saturn. Nuclear Blast is proud to provide this support and strives to make all its artists feel comfortable that they have a transparent, honest relationship with their label. Sadly, Lucas Mann, on behalf of Rings of Saturn, has brazenly threatened to issue public statements condemning Nuclear Blast in the strongest terms possible if the label does not give in to his baseless demands. While Nuclear Blast is truly shocked and saddened by Lucas Mann's actions, Nuclear Blast also does not tolerate threats. Okay, so I got a little bit more here of what's going on, right? So he's making some kind of threats. He wants some demands, and he's making threats about the label otherwise. So I guess they're like, screw it, we don't care. So accordingly, Rings of Saturn have been dropped from the label. All right, so this sounds like either they were making some crazy demands, and the record label's like, no, this is above and beyond, your pay grade. Right, which it could be. We're talking about deathcore, technical deathcore band. Okay, they're not. These guys are not raking in millions of dollars, a year. These guys are not raking in tens of thousands of dollars in every show or hundreds of thousands of dollars every show. They're not doing that. This is a band that is probably making, a comfortable living. Right? Playing shows with a combination of playing shows, selling merchandise, selling albums. That's probably where their money is going towards, right? Like, and of course, you got the videos and stuff like that nowadays with YouTube and other streaming services. So they're making money through all these different outlets. It's not huge amounts of money. Okay. And the record label's probably not seeing a lot of that money either. Okay. So, they're not making a lot of money from this. And if they're making these kinds of demands, like, hey, look, Rings of Saturn, I'm sure another label would pick those guys up. It's not like there's some crappy band that nobody cares about. They have fans. The people will go see them. Okay. So But to make a statement like that about your record label, probably not a good move. And now they've probably lost a substantial amount of money and probably really hurt their income by making the statement and then losing Nuclear Blast. All right, now I've known Nuclear Blast. I'm familiar with a lot of the artists in that record label. So I know that they do have they do have a lot of good bands. There's bands that have been with them for many years. I don't really know. There could be issues with the record label. I'm not saying that there aren't. I don't know. It just, to me, you don't bite the hand that feeds. Okay? And it sounds like that's what Rings of Saturn did here. So, I don't know. Guys, comment. Let me know if you know any other details. Your thoughts about this. Do you think Rings of Saturn did the right thing? Okay? And don't forget to follow this podcast. Okay, I think we're on everything. We're on Google. We're on Apple. We are on Spotify. So check us out. Music Babble. Come check us out. I'll keep you updated with the latest in all music news and all kinds of music stuff. All right. So see you guys soon.